Hello, YouTube. It's the Utopian Buddha. Today we are going to dive into a book that I wrote called Spiritual World. It's a fantasy story about a new age amusement park. Imagine an amusement park devoted to spirituality, yoga, meditation, and the development of the human being towards realizing states of bliss and love consciousness. Imagine roller coasters, music concerts, and all of the peace and love that you can imagine. So this is a fantasy story about a new age amusement park. So there's a lot of little stories in it, and this amusement park also has psychedelics in it, right? I wrote this when I was at this hippie place called Yogaville, and I was doing psychedelics at the time. Right now, I don't advocate doing psychedelics, but that's where my head was when I first started writing this book. So let's read real quick. Bubba was a fun-loving hippie just trying to spend a relaxing day with his friends. The psychedelics and trippy roller coasters attracted the group of college students, but now the conversation was drifting into unknown and slightly uncomfortable territory for him. All of this talk of sainthood and serving society, it was too much. He sat quietly as his friends chatted more and more about the necessity for a spiritual revolution. Finally, they got into the queue for the most popular roller coaster in the park, where at the beginning of the ride, consenting adults of age could take a few grams of psilocybin mushrooms while waiting in line. Excitedly, Bubba popped a few psychedelic chocolates into his mouth, waiting for the effect to take hold. Slowly, they wound their way closer to the ride, looking at hundreds of utopian art paintings hanging along the walls of the waiting line. This art, Bubba discovered, was for sale, the profits going to various charities and the maintenance of the park. As they waited, the mushrooms high started to hit, making the utopian art swim with color and life. Finally, they stepped onto the roller coaster where they were given a virtual reality headset. A voice crackled over the headset speakers. For millennia, civilizations have risen and fallen. From the Roman Empire to the Mauryan, man has been unable to keep the social organism together because man has yet to transcend the material sphere. So long as human consciousness depends on the ego, then corruption and disintegration will be its lot. Like all things in nature, any society built upon material values must rise and then fall. As the roller coaster climbed, the virtual reality headset overlaid the park with scenes from the ancient past. Bubba watched as history unfolded before his eyes. The beginnings of culture, the miraculous rise of pyramids, temples, cities, and trade networks, and their inevitable disappearance and destruction. Then the images shifted to the present, the birth of modern science, cars, planes, and technology, stitching the world together. Various graphs of population statistics and other modern social trends popped up before Bubba's eyes. Even though he was tripping quite hard, Bubba understood that the world today was changing at a rapid pace. The voice in his ear spoke again. More and more today, humanity is waking up to its inherent power, that we are creators. Inside and outside are not separate from each other. What the collective imagination of our race holds will mirror itself in the external world. If enough of us dream and imagine utopian futures beyond our current dysfunction, then the spiritual energies will build behind this reality inside of us. And then one day, once a critical threshold is reached, this inner reality will burst onto the world to create a radically new, joyous, utopian future of sunshine, beach, mango, tropical parties for humanity. In a moment of exhilaration, just as the mushroom psychedelic trip in his brain began to crescendo, images of breathtaking beauty and wonder burst onto Bubba's virtual reality headset. Everywhere he looked, spectacular realities blossomed before his eyes. All of the problems of civilization has been solved. Monumental glass buildings filled with high-yield fruit and vegetable gardens reached to the clouds. Golden domes the size of football stadiums emanated auras of pure light as thousands of people entered states of inner peace and transcendent bliss. Paintings. Oh man, I wrote this, guys. I wrote this. I love it, dude. I love what I write, dude. Explosive color over 1,000 feet tall covered the sides of buildings. The roller coaster rocketed upwards. Bubba looked into the sky and watched as humans colonized the stars. Looking down, Bubba saw millions of children eating strawberries and laughing in the sunshine. He saw peace reign between nations. He saw armies disappear and images of the starving poor transformed into laughing families in humble homes. The social transformation of cities as thousands of enlightened beings walked the streets, spreading the energy of joy and compassion. Then, as Bubba's soul gravitated towards the light, he felt himself leave behind his body. The roller coaster and theme park disappeared to be replaced by this sense of all-encompassing universal love. Bubba felt the boundaries of his ego disappear, and for just an instant, he saw the world through God's eyes, the eyes of love. Bubba broke down crying, and on a deep instinctual level, he realized the purpose of his life: to reduce suffering and increase joy, to leave this world better than he found it, to create, in some small way, utopia, a future closer to the ideals of Jesus, Buddha, and the holy men of history. Weeks later, Bubba changed his major to international relations, choosing to devote his life to peace and the unification of the human race in the all-embracing love of God. So that's just one of the many stories in my book, Spiritual World. I hope you guys get it. Have a good one.